Of course, even had a flirtation with the High Court today. He says today alone has been more like 3 weeks. He's also had to pick a side for this important Coca-Cola Cup tie without the suspended Andy Townsend. Gary Parker will again have an important role in the midfield for Villa. Dwight Yorke returns there, and there's a second game of the season for David Farrell. He'll play down the left. Palace are much more settled. 1 defeat only in the last 7 games. It's the side that drew here with Southampton at the weekend. Their good form based on a solid defence, where the keeper Nigel Martin and the centre-backs Richard Shaw and Chris Coleman have been absolutely outstanding. 5 clean sheets in the last 7 games bear testimony to that. Here comes Dean Gordon. Now can Armstrong get on the end of this? It was a good header, hitting it back from where it's come, and it's always difficult for keepers. But Gordon did well again. A third high cross in. Armstrong knocking it back across the Villa goal, but just wide of the far post. Dalian Atkinson getting up a real head of steam here. Lays it for David Farrell. Crossed in by him to Saunders. Crossed it in superbly, and somehow Palace kept it out. Up towards Armstrong, supported by Priest. Chased by Helgiu, and they get it back to Bosnich. Played in nicely there, and Saunders in fact whipped that in from an impossible angle against the post. Priest touching it back, Barry touching it wide, Armstrong playing it in towards a deep post. Oh my goodness, Bosnich very nearly misjudged that one. You'd have to ask Chris Armstrong whether he meant that as a shot or whether that was a cross that was suddenly became a shot. But it certainly caused Bosnich problems and very nearly crept in. Here's the corner. Armstrong trying to get to it. Again, easier this time for Bosnich. Now, was that a cross or was it a shot? It very nearly finished in the back of the net, that's for sure. Priest just keeping it in play. Humphrey playing it forward towards Gareth Southgate. Oh, a bad kick out by Bosnich. Can Armstrong, well, he's brought down by Yogyu. What will he get for this? Whether he was the last defender or not. My feeling was that Earl Barrett was covering, but certainly is at least a yellow card. Phil King protesting. It's a red card. He's been sent off. Well, it was a bit of a mistake in the first place that suddenly put Armstrong in possession. Yogyu then. Now, the feeling could be that there was a Villa player who was in the picture there, who probably was covering. And I think Villa fans might well have a feeling there's some justification that that sending off is a very harsh one. At any rate, it's a free kick now for Crystal Palace. Villa down to 10. Salako with it. And curl just wide. Houghton. Yorke playing it in again. Atkinson! A wonderful goal! What a strike by Dalian Atkinson. And the Villa fans, worried that their side were down to 10 men, certainly have plenty to cheer now. Taken superbly. Absolutely giving Nigel Martin a glimmer of a chance. Played in by Dwight Yorke. Smacked on the half volley by Dalian Atkinson. 1-0 Villa. Free kick to Crystal Palace. Be taken by Salako. I just wonder if they wouldn't feel that they might well launch Salako more and more against the emergency right back Dwight Yorke. But at the moment, Salako's on this side of the field, looking for the telling free kick, or will it be Newman? No, it's Salako curling it in, and curling it in well. It came off the defender, and Coleman got in behind them. Well, Armstrong couldn't quite get on the end of it. King and Bosnich between them get it away. Gordon played that in nice and early. It just flicked off Crease. Crease again. Oh, he tried to knock it wide for Coleman. A lot of Palace pressure here. Barry knocking it wide again. Salako onto the left foot this time. Floating a long one towards Armstrong. Villa again get it away. Gordon plays it in again. And this time Bosnich is there. Salako's made a good break, and Salako! My goodness! He was just a whisker away from getting a really dramatic equaliser for Palace right at the start of the second half. Great run by Armstrong and a great cross too. Palace's throw, he looks up, there's his cross, there's the sliding Salako, missing it by a whisker. Up towards Chris Armstrong, but it's a throw to Crystal Palace. They're certainly looking to pile the pressure onto 10-man Aston Villa in this second half. King bringing down Armstrong. More of an untidy tumble than anything else, but worthy of a free kick. Salako and Newman over it. The odds are on Salako. Crossing it in! And a goal there for Chris Armstrong! Great free kick by Salako. And Armstrong with a glancing header. And the delight of Chris Coleman there in the goal as Palace bring it back to 1-1. There's the free kick. There's the number 9's glancing header, inch perfect. What a good shot. Armstrong getting it on. Salako, the flag has stayed down. Still with Salako. Terrible miss by Armstrong. He looks around. Salako can't believe it. Salako thought about a shot himself and then saw Armstrong beautifully placed on the other side of the 6-yard area. He looks up there, picks out Armstrong, and that's what happens. Alan Smith wanting more effort. He must be pleased, though, with the way Palace have come out in this second half. Well, it's what you might call a mixed night for him. Here's Armstrong, looking to see if he can play anybody in. And his shot was just wide of the target, and it was a good shot on the turn. Struck with some venom. King. Setting up a run and then losing out, but Barrett got in there for Villa. Good. Armstrong on the run again. Salako up with him. Oh, he's done well. He's got away from Barrett. The cross comes in! It's Southgate! And it's 2-1 to Palace. Looks on with pleasure, I would think. Chris Armstrong kept his head up. He's had his problems with that miss earlier on in this half, but he outwitted Earl Barrett here. And Southgate made a wonderful late run to arrive there to make it 2-1 Palace. That somehow was squeezed wide by Nigel Martin. That came through a crowd of players. He could only have seen that at the last split second. Volleyed back by the Palace defence, and a great piece of goalkeeping there by Nigel Martin. But here's Humphrey. Here's a good break from the back by Barry. He's got it in, but McGrath will see it across the face of the goal, and Dwight York will see it to safety. You get the feeling there still have to be goals in this game. It's 2-1 to Palace. Gordon hitting it long. Armstrong on the far side. It's another corner. It's a Super Cup tie, with good football coming from both sides. Palace leading 2-1. Armstrong winning another corner for the home side. Salako once again will take it. Priest and Barry in there. Armstrong waiting to launch himself, so too is Coleman. It's Coleman tried to get a header on that one. Southgate has made it 3. And that's a goal that might well put Crystal Palace into the quarter-finals. They're making a habit of this, and they now lead 3-1. 3 or 4 Villa players going for it, but nobody guarding that post. And Southgate turning it in without great power, but with great accuracy, and Palace go 3-1 up. Gareth Southgate's getting his second of the night. 4-1! Sheer strength and persistence there, and a whiplash finish at the end of it all as Villa floundered. 4-1 Palace, and there's no holding them now. York was beaten, and so was Bosnich. The ball finds the net again, and Palace are home and dry. Two for Armstrong, 2 for Southgate. Believe they're Wembley bound, and I must say their performance in the second half has been so good that it could be churlish to argue with them. Here's Shaw finding Gordon. Salako. Armstrong again waiting at the far post. He gets up so well. Final whistle. The best night of the season for Crystal Palace. No question of that. 4-1 winners here. A match really with 2 turning points. The sending off of Diocchio, which really put Villa back on their heels, though they went ahead through Atkinson. And then Armstrong struck right at the start of the second half, and that was the second turning point. The Palace blitz in the first 15 minutes when they turned the game around and scored twice, and then carried on with an excellent second half performance to score 2 after that. Armstrong 2 and Southgate 2, the scorers for Crystal Palace. Daly and Atkinson, the lone scorer.